Coming up on AgweekTV, we're bringing our show to you this week from the Northern Corn and Soybean Expo in Fargo, North Dakota. We'll hear from experts, including renowned ag economics speaker David Kohl. Find out what current and former members of Congress feel are the biggest priorities for the upcoming Farm Bill. And we hear about the history and success of crop insurance. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Emily Beal. This week we're doing our show from the Northern Corn and Soybean Expo in Fargo, North Dakota. The Fargo Dome is host to the one-day event. The show, produced by the North Dakota Corn and Soybean Councils and Growers Associations, features an expansive trade show, expert speakers, educational seminars, and new this year, mini sessions on the show floor to help farmers increase their productivity and profitability. Several of the speakers are the foremost experts in their fields. One of those experts is ag economist David Kohl. So David, what are some of the current pressures in the ag economy right now?
I think one of the things is it's a lot about global economics, and of course we got the European war. The other element is we have China, who has now opened their economy up, and if they start spending, of course, that's going to be impacting energy and fuel prices because they consume 10 to 15% of it.
Another big topic is inflation. Do you think that's going to continue to be an issue in the ag economy?
Absolutely. And matter of fact, you're seeing inflation soften in the general economy, but it's going to be sticky in the ag economy because 8 out of every $10 we spend in agriculture is somehow connected to oil and energy. And that combined with the fertilizers, 60% is produced in authoritarian economies in the world, along with, of course, increased labor cost and fixed cost as our land values go up, our taxes go up. All those components make it more sticky than it would be in the general economy.
So what are some things that farmers and producers can do to help better their chances of fighting inflation?
Well, first of all, getting back to basics, about being a 5%, try to be 5% better in many components of your business: production, marketing, risk management, human resource, finance.
And as the younger generation kind of starts to take over the reins of the family operation, how's that going to impact things?
I'm seeing a tremendous evolution as I'm doing speaking engagements post-pandemic. More young people, more women in agriculture. And one of the things that I'm finding is they're actually better managers because they will do the cash flow budgets. They will do the marketing and risk management plan. They will work with a team of advisors. Doesn't necessarily mean they're all doing it, but a good share are doing it. So I'm very, very optimistic about the future of agriculture.
Well, thank you so much for your insight today.
It's great to be with you.
Ag economist David Kohl. One of the new mini sessions at the Expo was Perspectives on the Farm Bill. AgWeek publisher Katie Pinky moderated the panel, which included North Dakota Congressman Kelly Armstrong and former North Dakota Senator Heidi Heitkamp. Both shared their thoughts with us on the upcoming Farm Bill.
It's really going to take a lot of innovation in the middle to get a farm bill done in the House, and I think it's unlikely it's going to happen this year. But I think it's likely it'll get extended. I think it's likely that if we don't get it by the end of September or in this year, and we go into an election year, it's going to be very difficult.
We have bifurcated ourselves as a country. Urban areas have gotten more blue, rural areas have gotten more red. So from a political standpoint, the places that really need the farm bill, it comes to ground in a lot of rural areas, and it's something that we have to be careful of. There could be real political consequences to not getting it done.
The current Farm Bill is set to expire later this year. Two North Dakota corn groups are at odds over who should control money from corn checkoffs. Under state law, the North Dakota Corn Utilization Council gets the money from fees collected when a farmer sells their corn. A growers group, the North Dakota Corn Growers Association, can contract with the Corn Council, which pays with that farmer-generated money. But a bill in the North Dakota legislature would give the corn growers half the corn checkoff dollars directly instead of the Corn Council.
It's just the stability of, right now we have contracts in place, but a lot of times to get a contract approved, the way the protocols are now, it's just too late and it's tough to get things done.
We've been diligently working on trying to come to an agreement to keep it out of legislation. I really like the research and all that we do And obviously, if half the checkoff went away, we would not have the ability to fund that at the level that we're doing currently.
When AgWeek TV continues from the Northern Corn and Soybean Expo, we'll talk crop insurance with a farmer who's been there nearly from the beginning.
The International Crop Expo is at Alerus Center, February 22nd and 23rd. This is the region's best agriculture show of the year, packed full of the latest equipment and innovations. Take this opportunity to explore all areas of the agriculture world. Visit with ag professionals on hand and discuss the newest techniques and strategies in farming and much more. February 22nd and 23rd at Alerus Center is the International Crop Expo. Admission is free.
Farming is more than just work. It's your way of life. Protecting your family's legacy is our way of life. Through challenges and successes, we understand your family's insurance needs. With every turn of the wheel, for every investment, through every season, generation after generation, Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
Is your crop insurance working for you? Are you using your crop insurance to help market your production? There have been a lot of improvements to crop insurance to help maximize guarantees. To see what crop insurance can really do for you, call the professionals at Martinson Ag. Each of our insurance specialists have over 25 years of individual experience in the crop insurance industry, both on the company level and the producer level. Martinson Ag, they know risk management.
Every season has an end. After spending your whole life building something, it can be hard to move on to your next stage in life. But when that time comes, you deserve to have someone you trust guide you through the process. And by trusting us to pass on your legacy, it gives someone else the chance to create their own. Every auction has a story. Let us share yours.
Our AgWeek special report this month is called A Matter of Security. It's an in-depth look at the Farm Bill. As part of that, this week's AgWeek cover story looks at the history and policy work behind crop insurance. Reporter Jeff Beach is with a North Dakota farmer who knows crop insurance as well as anyone.
Mike Clemens has been on the Federal Crop Insurance Board of Directors. Mike, how did you become such an advocate for crop insurance?
Well, crop insurance has been a real important part of just farming in North Dakota. Either too dry, too wet, diseases, insects, it's just, and so, to have risk prevention on your farm has been really my goal of making sure we have good crop insurance products available for the farmers.
And how has crop insurance evolved over the decades?
Well, it really has taken off in the last 20 years. Multi-peril was the big thing of over the years, which was just based on production of crops that they had. And then more producers wanted a revenue type product. And then also moving to more like enterprise units, or the new thing now is whole farm. Not catching on as well, but revenue products by standalone commodities have really done well.
What would you want farmers to know about the policy setting process for federal crop insurance?
Well, to improve what we're doing out there, it was the 50H process. Getting the idea and then having a submitter submit it to the board. And then from there, then we work on developing that product. And it's just not a one-year thing. It can be 2 to 3 years before we go all through the due diligence of it. And it also has to meet the actuarial goals that we set out as a board to have the 1-to-1 loss ratio for the premiums that we take in.
And what would you want people who aren't farmers to know about how the federal crop insurance works?
This last year was about $18 billion of coverage on probably $300 billion worth of crops that we're covering out there. It was very interesting when I was on the board to see that all the things that we did cover. You know, from 200 basic crops, and then you have different types. So you're up to about 600 different types that you're putting coverage on.
Mike, thanks for your insight today. North Dakota farmer Mike Clemens.
For more coverage of our crop insurance cover story, check out the latest AgWeek magazine or go to agweek.com. Conservation practices of varying types are growing in popularity, but not all of them are implemented for the same reasons. Dean Sponheim was the featured speaker at a recent soil innovation tour in southern Minnesota. He raises corn, soybeans, and cereal rye in north central Iowa and plants everything into green cover crops. And he thinks promoting conservation practices has often been done the wrong way.
We started trying to tell the producers that because of water quality, soil health, erosion, that we should be doing it. And most of the farmers are looking at a financial, what's in it for them? And once you start doing this, you will see that there is a financial benefit.
Really, in the last 2 or 3 years, we've seen more and more attendance at events like this, both these and during field days.
Sponheim is known as the accidental conservationist because most of the practices he's doing or has done were because of financial or agronomic reasons, not conservation. With calving season right around the corner, proper cattle management is more important than ever. Extension beef specialist Zach Carlson says ranchers should keep their herd's nutrition at the forefront of their minds as the cattle begin to calve. Nutrition needs go up 20 to 30% as the cattle transition from the second to third trimester. Carlson also says ranchers should try to keep their calves dry if possible, which could be difficult due to potential snow melt.
It's really important to emphasize dry because anytime, again, we get animals wet, cows are really resilient to cold temperatures if they can be dry, and it's when we incorporate a wet coat that hair coat can't really withstand that.
Carlson recommends stocking up on bedding if possible prior to calving. Still ahead on our show, a small town company is making an advanced impact in the world of grain handling systems.
Dynaflow is the ultimate high-volume water management pump. Whether you're experiencing flooding, emptying sloughs, transferring ponds, or working on irrigation, the Dynaflow pump works in as little as 18 inches of water and is designed to move 3,000 gallons per minute. The Dynaflow lift pump is the perfect upgrade to your drain tile system. Using line shaft turbine pump technology, these pumps are made to last while operating efficiently. Dynaflow drain tile pumps can move up to 1,500 gallons per minute, up to 3,400 feet away.
Spray Advantage is a full-line, full-service dealer with everything you need for fertilizer and chemical applications, like electronics from Microtrack and Raven, pumps by Banjo and John Blue, a full line of poly parts, tanks, and spray tips. We support the equipment we sell with factory-trained service technicians and a well-stocked parts department. It's our commitment to offer you quality products at competitive prices with the best financing options available. Spray Advantage, proudly serving North Dakota and Minnesota.
Since the inception of Vaderstadt, the spirit of innovation has led the company. We push the limits, providing innovative and reliable seeding and tillage solutions that simplify everyday life for farmers. We continue to reimagine the capabilities and technology behind farm machinery, providing customers with a perfect emergence while maximizing their yields. We look forward to growing together.
I'm Peter Bosch. I've been working with Gateway Building Systems for a little over 20 years now. I chose Gateway Building Systems to build my shop because I wanted a building that could both be used for my equipment and as a place for my family to hang out and do things. I would advise anybody that's thinking about working with Gateway to go in and talk to the guys there, tell them your plans and your future dreams, and let them design something for you.
The team at North Star Ag is committed to quality and committed to you. We're not just a full-service dealer, we're farmers too, so we know you need the best machinery and services that'll keep you going all season long. We have the largest equipment inventory in the upper Midwest with a well-equipped parts and service department. So whether you need machinery tomorrow or parts today, stop in and experience what North Star Ag can offer on our website at northstar-ag.com or give us a call at 701-361-4790.
Expo.
Will the snow continue to melt, or will the region's temps lower once again? Here's our AgriWeather outlook.
The next couple of weeks are going to bring yet a new set of weather conditions across the United States. Stormy weather is returning to the West Coast. It looks like heavy snows for the mountains of California, and there may be some snows even down to the lower elevations in places in some parts of Washington and Oregon. That's the rest of February. Some cold weather in the west and some wet weather. As far as the northern plains, upper Midwest, corn, bean belt, wheat areas, there will be a couple of snow chances over the next couple of weeks. And generally February in the north central part of the country will be finishing the month of February and the 3 winter months with colder than average temperatures to secure what has largely been a colder than average winter, especially in the northern part of this area. Split flow in the jet stream with a low pressure system kind of persistent down in the southwest. That's keeping this weather generally cooler than average, but as time goes along, it will likely get even colder as the main branch of the jet drops down. That's going to put some potential for some heavy snows into the mountainous and even the submountainous areas of California. Meanwhile, this week, relatively cold, frigid weather will reemerge and drop down into the central states. By frigid, talking about high temperatures near or zero or a little bit below. This cold weather is where it's generally freezing or colder. So a lot of the southwestern 2/3 or so of the country will be in colder than average weather. There will start to be a few areas down in South Florida, South Texas in particular, that are warmer than average, which sets up this storm track in between as being a fairly strong storm track. There will be a temporary ridging, but that is all it is, just temporary, as it looks like another big trough of low pressure will be carved out in the west. Strong jet stream winds will continue to bring humidity into California, and the northern plains and western Great Lakes will remain fairly cold for the season as the calendar turns into March. Now, as far as the storm paths go, the stuff out west looks most impressive. A lot of mountain snows, a lot of rain-snow mix getting down into western parts of Washington and Oregon, and plenty of rain for the coastal areas and even some of the deserts of Southern California into Arizona. There will likely be at least 1 or 2, maybe 3 clipper systems this week, or what it may turn out to be is a couple of clippers and 1 slightly more southern-oriented Colorado-type low to bring chances for snow into some part of this region. A lot of it will be light. The last one later in the week will have a chance to bring heavier precipitation, but it's hard to say exactly where that one will track. And the map looks almost the same for the second week because, again, the southwest will be cold, snowy, rainy in the deserts and along the coastal areas, and it looks like another potential storm system moving out into some part of the Great Plains and the upper Midwest. Active weather pattern.
Omega-3 is a long-chain fatty acid that is beneficial in the human body. It's a superfood, basically. Omega-3 canola has helped us by diversifying our crop rotations.
Plants look better, they're taller, they're thicker. Pod development seems to be better. Good for soil health, good for weed control. The glufosinate it's awesome.
Since the inception of Vatterstadt, the spirit of innovation has led the company. We push the limits, providing innovative and reliable seeding and tillage solutions that simplify everyday life for farmers. We continue to reimagine the capabilities and technology behind farm machinery, providing customers with a perfect emergence while maximizing their yields. We look forward to growing together.
Don't miss out on the equipment you'll need next season. Titan Machinery, your local Case IH dealer, has early order discounts on its full line of powerful, efficient, new Case IH equipment, including tractors, combines, and self-propelled sprayers. Get a great deal and ensure that you have the latest in productivity and technology. Supply chains are tight. Contact your Titan Machinery dealership today and find out how much you can save by ordering ahead. Titan Machinery, your local Case IH equipment experts.
We at the Mosaic Company hang our hat on the fact that we are crop nutrition leaders. That's why we have produced products like Micro Essentials, Aspire, Sostera, which help that plant utilize certain key nutrients differently than what just straight commodity products do. And we want to increase that yield, but we also want to increase the ROI. Because ultimately our goal is to help the farmer have a better yield, a better ROI, and do it in a sustainable way.
For AgWeek, this is Mikkel Pates at Watertown, South Dakota.
We'll look at the positive impacts that dairy can have on the community.
A Minnesota couple has put a grain bin to a new use. Spoiler alert, it's not grain.
This elaborate system of tubing with the downhill slope is how Maplewood State Park gathers sap to make syrup.
Thanks for watching AgWeek TV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Farmers in the region have lots of choices when it comes to installing grain dryers and bin storage setups. But a family-owned North Dakota company is making its mark by being a one-stop shop for all your grain handling setup needs. Starting from scratch when implementing a new grain handling system can be stressful. That's why farmers like Ethan Hansen from Blanchard, North Dakota are confident in turning to advanced grain handling systems.
When we were looking to build, obviously we shopped around for some bids and prices, and ultimately for me Advanced is maybe closer than some of them, so they were competitive price-wise with everybody else in the market, but I really wanted that serviceability, and those guys have been excellent as far as setup and servicing after the fact.
Serviceability isn't the only reason farmers are turning to Mayville, North Dakota-based Advanced Grain.
The drying capabilities is a huge thing, and being able to harvest, when the elevator is closed has increased our productivity quite a bit. Being able to store the bushels going past fall and into winter and gaining the increase in the markets paid off huge for us.
The Advanced Grain Handling System team knows the seeds you plant aren't for today.
They made sure that they designed me a system that was expandable years into the future. And starting from scratch, that's something I wanted to make sure I didn't paint myself into a corner, and those guys spent a lot of time and effort making sure that this was going to be an expandable site with everything that I would need as I grew into the years.
And Advanced Grain Handling Systems will be there with you every step of the way.
They handled everything from the site prep, the dirt work, the gravel. The electricians were all excellent, and they're very knowledgeable in the dryer setups themselves. They have crews dedicated just for that. And once we got all set and going, they made sure we had 2 guys here running it up, getting everything going in the middle of harvest, which is crucial. And they made sure they didn't leave until everything was ready to roll.
For farmers like Ethan Hansen, choosing Advanced Grain Handling Systems is an easy choice.
I would choose Advanced Grain because they're going to sell you what you need and not anything more or less.
When AgWeek TV returns, we'll have details on how to increase your soybean marketing IQ.
Attention farmers and ranchers. Do you have a clear understanding of carbon? North Dakota Farmers Union is hosting the Evolution Ag Summit, a one-day event focused on helping farmers and ranchers understand how carbon reduction may impact their operation. Speakers will focus on supply chain commitments, renewable fuels, and carbon sequestration. Join us in Jamestown on February 21st. To register, go to ndfu.org and click on Evolution Ag.
Stop by the Erickson Custom Operations booth during the International Crop Expo at the Alira Center. AgweEK reps will be there to discuss proven nano-liquid technology, and calcine reps will be on hand to walk through your saline soil issues. That's February 22nd from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and February 23rd from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the International Crop Expo, booth 533.
Attend the 41st Annual AgWeek Farm Show, March 7th and 8th at the Olmsted County Fairgrounds. This year's show will have interesting speakers from the world of agriculture and cheese curd samples from Little Red Dairy Creamery. We will include presentations on succession planning, an agriculture update from the Department of Transportation, finding employees for farms and ag businesses, and oat marketing in Southeast Minnesota. We'll see you at the show.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days, and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
Omega-3 is a long-chain fatty acid that is beneficial in the human body. It's a superfood, basically. I mean, omega-3 canola has helped us by diversifying our crop rotations.
Plants look better, they're taller, they're thicker. Pod development seems to be better. Good for soil health, good for weed control. The glufosinate it's awesome.
AgweekTV Soy Insight, brought to you by the North Dakota Soybean Council.
Welcome back to our show. Joining me now is Phil Fott and Jenna Biertness. So Jenna, you guys have a seminar coming up. Tell me a little bit about that.
We do. This is something that the Soybean Council does every year. It's a trading and risk management seminar for farmers. It is put on by Drs. Frayne Olson and Bill Wilson at NDSU in the commodity trading room. It's free. It's a training session on strategies that you may or may not use already on your farm, something like hedging, futures market, contract types, all of these skills that you may want to develop or sharpen for your operation.
And this is the first year that you guys will be implementing crush plans into your seminars.
That's right. So that's a huge part of our content this year, especially when we talk about contract types. It's probably the first time that we're going to talk about, we have these bids. What are some strategies that farmers can do to work those into their marketing plans for the year?
And Phil, you've attended these seminars. How have those been for you?
Oh, great. The in-person part of it, talking to Bill Wilson and Frayne, as you talked about the crush plant, having their take on what's coming in, including the rail traffic and things, it really puts a perspective on to what how we're trying to market our crop.
And if you were talking to a fellow producer, would you advise that they go to these seminars?
Absolutely. I've learned a lot. I did the same seminar again 2 years later, and I was wondering if that was the right decision, and I think I took as much home from the second time as I did the first, if not more, so it's a very valuable tool.
So Jenna, give me the exact details about this event. When is it? Where is it?
So this is going to be March 14th and 15th, and it's in downtown Fargo at the Commodity Trading Room at NDSU's Berry Hall. It is free to all soybean farmers in North Dakota. So we're limited to about 30 to 40 people. So it is kind of first come, first serve. So ndsoybean.org is where you can get registered. This seminar is paid for by soybean checkoff dollars. So these are dollars that farmers are paying. So we really hope that farmers come and take advantage of this, because this is a tool we'd like to give back.
Absolutely. It sounds like a very interesting event. Phil Fott and Jenna Biertness. Stories you'll only see on AgWeek.com and in AgWeek magazine this week. What was in the last Farm Bill? We'll break down all 12 titles. And the last piece of Mikkel Pate's farewell column looks at the 1990s to present day. Thanks for joining us this week from the Northern Corn and Soybean Expo. Remember to check out AgWeek Daily on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up on all your ag news. Have a great week.